Hi, so welcome back to another edition of Keeping It Real with myself, Liesel. I'm looking forward to my guest all the way from the UK tonight, Liza Benting. Welcome to the show, Lisa. And
Good
tonight, yes,
evening.
good evening, Lisa. Tonight we are going to talk about how life doesn't happen to us, but it happens for us, Lisa. So are you ready to kick it off tonight?
You know what? I can't wait. I can't wait.
So yes, definitely Lisa and I come a long way. I don't know why we're so nervous all of a sudden, but I think it's the distance. But Lisa, tell them, who is Lisa. Tell them, I know who you are, but who is Liza Benting on the other end?
Liza Benting, born and bred in Ravensmead, and this is where our paths crossed, didn't it, Liesel?
Yes.
Way back in time in
30 years ago, Lisa. 30 years.
30 years ago, exactly.
To be exact.
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable. It's
To
a lifetime.
unbelievable. It is a lifetime, and what an absolute privilege for us to be here today and for this moment to be able to happen. But born and bred in Ravensmead, and at present I'm actually in the UK, and I have been here for the last 22 years. So it's been quite a journey. It's been quite a journey, and as we continue today, as we have a little chat, I'm sure the listeners and the viewers will find out a little bit more of how life has just taken us on one exciting journey. And yes, absolutely amazing just to be here. Thank you for having me.
Yes, everybody. So Lisa is this humble girl, but she's way too humble for who she is. She was the most intelligent girl in the school, not even in a class, in the school. What was the award that you received that year when we matriculated? What was it called again? I think you were handed an award on our matric. Yes, you received an award. But nevertheless, Lisa is a dentist in the UK at the moment. You are still a practicing dentist, if
Yeah,
I may say. But you studied at
yeah,
University of Stellenbosch.
Stellenbosch, yes. And based at Tygerberg Hospital. So it was lovely because from our second year, it was back to Ravensmead, back to home, came back
Exactly.
home.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yes, and that's where we had fun and all those student life happened. And obviously you decided not to practice, to stay in South Africa, to take the life took you to the UK. And will you ever come back to South Africa? How is the UK versus South Africa for you?
Do you know what? Do you know the beauty of that question is at the moment, I'm just going with the flow.
Yes.
And I think it's something, I don't know if it comes with age. Maybe it does come with age, but you realize that life has a funny way of just panning out the way it's meant to pan out. And I think sometimes we overthink these decisions
Yes.
and we're so desperate to make the right decisions that I think sometimes that can even be like a limiting factor, because at the end of the day, I truly believe that there's a journey, there's a plan for our lives, and God knows the plan.
Yes.
And sometimes we just have to be faithful and just follow this journey wherever it takes us. So I've just answered that question like a politician because I didn't actually give you an answer, but that's how I feel. Who knows?
Yes, yes.
Anything's possible.
So, Lisa, you once said that one cannot stay in two places at the same time and expect a different result. Meaning, if one had to stay in your like I wouldn't say negative, but in that bad environment or in a bad environment or bad space in your life, you cannot expect sometimes a positive result if you stay where you are and you don't make any changes to grow yourself or empower yourself. Has there ever been a time in your life where you felt you were overstaying your welcome in the more negative side of the world or of life, for that matter?
Of life.
Mhm.
Yes, I have to say that I think all of us, we never set out to make decisions and cause problems or anything, but sometimes we do find ourselves in situations that's quite challenging and situations that we never dreamt that we could find ourselves. And I think we can beat ourselves up a lot about that because we think, why didn't I do this? Why did it? But I think how we should approach this is that whatever situation we find ourselves in, at that point in time, it is what it is. We cannot change what happens to us, but the power is in how we respond to that. So once we realize that something is not serving us well, and not and it's up to us to make that decision. So if you decide, something's not good, and you decide to stay there, that is actually when you can look back and go, but that is my fault for not doing something about it.
Yes.
But it's not easy, because at the end of the day, we tend to want to stay in our comfort zone. It's weird, because it's not good for us, but we tend to hang on to it because it's actually more difficult to step out and try and make a change. But deep down, we know that that's the right decision. So have I been in situations like that? Yes, many a times. But I can now look back and think, wow, sometimes we think these things happen and it's the end. But actually, it gives us the opportunity to step out. And it's only when we look back that we realize that by one door closing and us opening another, it's one step closer to becoming who we actually meant to be.
Yeah, I want to say to everyone out there, and something that I think a few people know, is that I was very insecure as a young girl at school, and you were always the one trying to keep me positive and sending giving myself these motivational notes that I still carry with me in my Bible to remind me about being a confidence, how to boost my confidence, I can remember very, very clearly, you gave me one that said, look into the mirror and see the beauty that's in front of you and not be insecure. Those are one of those moments that I will treasure forever, because you sort of builded my confidence. You started building my confidence. However, I did tend to listen to a lot of naysayers along the line. And sometimes you tend to do that. It becomes easy if you're not so secure in life, and if life is a bit difficult for you. So I want to find out from you, have you ever been in a situation where you listen to the voices of the naysayers in life? Yeah, just in general.
Yes, definitely. And I think these naysayers, you actually have to hand it to them, because they can be so powerful in how, if you allow them, they can be so powerful in how they can knock your confidence and your self-belief. And what I have realized is that it's very difficult, but what you have to realize, Liesl, is sometimes you think, I need more confidence, I need more self-belief. But what I've realized is whatever you need, it's already inside of you. And all you need to do is just to tap into it. And I think these naysayers, I read somewhere that the challenges around you is proof of the purpose inside of you. So when these naysayers come along, let that just inspire you. And you almost have to go, thank you very much, because you've just confirmed that the purpose inside of me is so great because of the pressures and the challenges that's around me.
That is so powerful.
So yeah, that's something I feel that the challenges around us is proof of the challenges and the pressure around us is proof of the purpose inside of us. So sometimes we want to steer clear of challenges, and we steer clear of when things don't go according to plan. But maybe, and this is where the naysayers come in, but maybe we should go say, thank you very much for doing that, because you've just reminded me that inside of me there's such a purpose, and they are just there to try and distract us, to get us off track. And this is why it's so important to not give in and listen to them, but still take it as a gift, because they actually inspire us to tap into that purpose.
Yeah. Tell me, to add on to that, I think what would you say to somebody who has a lack of self-belief and a lack of confidence at this moment in time? How would you advise that person about the environment that they need to be in? How important is it to be in a specific environment?
I found myself, especially in the dental world, and this is maybe a good example, because it's sometimes difficult to realize that it's not you. It's that it can be that there's people out there and environments that can be very toxic, and that can make you believe that you're the one that's the problem. And one example I just want to give is, so I used to work in more than one surgery, and I was the same person doing the same thing, doing the same job in the same way. But it was surprising how I can go into different environments and the effect it would have on me at the end of the day. And what I also found, Liesel, is that sometimes in trying to do the right thing, you are proper odd one out. And that is when you can try and question yourself. You question, is it me, or why am I not fitting in? But when you find yourself in that situation, I want to reassure you that actually that's when you are on track. Because the day we start fitting into society and the day we start fitting into everyone is the day that we've actually lost our identity, I want to say, because we were never meant to fit in, but we were born to stand out. But it so goes against the grain of what we as human beings tend to long for, to want to fit in. So as far as confidence and self-belief is concerned, that it's amazing because you can be the same person, but different people can make you feel so different. Like even a text message, you can send me a text message and we can have 5 minutes interaction and I can feel a certain way. I can have a text message from someone else, me being exactly the same, have an interaction, and after 5 minutes I feel awful, I doubt myself, I question myself. And this is where we have to become very self-aware of who we are, what we are working towards, so that we can make a decision as to who is taking us towards our goal and who is hindering us in getting to it. And when we make a decision, maybe not to be surrounded by certain people, do not feel guilty. It's not being selfish. It's actually a form of self-care, because we have a duty to be the best version of ourselves in order to make that difference. Because at the end of the day, it's not about you, it's not about me, but it's about the people whose lives we can change at the end of the day. So when we say, sorry, I'm not going to interact with you, or sorry, I prefer not to be in your company, it's not because we're selfish. It's actually what we have to do to protect ourselves so that we can go and be the person we're supposed to be.
Yes, that is amazing. Can you see why Lisa needs to be in my life? All the inspiration and why we have endless conversations. And although we are like, I think our relationship for me it's so surreal. The fact that we are miles apart. I mean, you in the UK, I'm in South Africa, but yet we are encouraging one another. You are making a difference in my life, for that matter, and I'm sure you're making a difference in everybody that you are surrounded with in your life in the UK as well. But the message that I think I want to bring across is the fact that that's important to say the right words. One can encourage one another, and you can make a difference by using the right words, and that guidance can only come from God, I suppose, and from having a godly life and having a relationship with God to lead you and giving you the right words and the right message to bring across to somebody, to encourage people more than ever. So and I admire the fact that you are always, like, even if we are hours sort of apart, that you, I mean, not hours, we are months apart, you come home once a year or something, we see each other, and I mean it feels like there's never there's never time that has passed or that has gone by. And I'm sure that is the type of person that you are. So it's important for me to the message to bring across that people can make a difference with the words that you use, to stay positive all the time, to encourage one another. You don't have to be in each other's faces all the time, but I think by every now and then saying the right thing or sending a motivational message, you can encourage the next person, I would say.
Yes, in one of my 60 seconds, I referred to the analogy that when a woman is about to give birth, the worst pain are those contractions just before the baby is born. And this I want to use as an example of when we go through difficult times, sometimes we think, oh my goodness, this is the end, this is going to destroy me. But actually, we are so close to birthing something new. And even though it doesn't make sense, we just need to have faith in the journey and keep going. And sometimes honestly, I know it can feel so dark, but what we have to remember is whatever we go through, this too shall pass.
Wow, that's so amazing. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you so much for sharing all your nuggets and all this wisdom with us tonight. But is there a last message that you want to leave with all the viewers tonight before we end off the show?
If there is one thing I'd love you, last thoughts, what I'd love you to take from this is something I mentioned earlier. For many, many years, I thought life was happening to me. But I want you to remember that life doesn't happen to you, it happens for you. And the moment it might not make sense, but there's a plan, there's a bigger plan, and we shouldn't lose sight of that.
Yes.
So life doesn't happen to you, but it's happening for you.
I will not forget that. I will not forget it. Same like I would want to say, almost like there's a reason for every season in our life. All of us, we are physically going through a new season, but we're also going through a new season, I think, in our lives itself. And why I say there's a reason for every season is the mere fact that every season needs one another. In winter, that dry tree, it might look dry on the outside, but it's getting the right amount of water and nutrients to go into the ground in order for the core and the roots to go and grow stronger, to get the right nutrients to develop the flowers, and in that flower to bloom into a fruit. So yeah, we need to grow in these different seasons in our lives, I would say. So thank you for sharing that message with us tonight. I am eternally grateful for your time and for having you in my life. And I'm so fortunate to have you in my life. But thank you for sharing. I could share you and your wisdom with the rest of the world, if I can say so. So
thank you, Liza. Thank you for this opportunity. I'm excited. I'm
excited for the journey. I'm excited for all the plans that you have, and you will definitely come back. Hopefully you'll come back and then you will share with us, as soon as you're ready to share all these big plans that you have. I know of at the moment. But for now, Liza, I would like to share with you tonight's scripture for me, and to end off everybody's week. And normally I want to end it off just with on a positive note. On another positive note. So I want to give to you Ecclesiastes 3 verse 1, where the word of God says, there's a time for everything. There's a time for everything and a season for every activity under the heavens. So may we all ask God's guidance regarding these seasons, and may we that we're moving into. And may we ask God to strengthen us when we do go through these seasons, and that we do not get discouraged or dismayed. But so that's me. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. This is me, Liza David, signing out on Keeping It Real with myself. Bye, everyone. Thank you, Liza, once again.
Thank you. Thank you.
And I'll take your pain, baby. I'll wear it out like a raider in the dark. I'll be coming to light your spark.